Alright, man. So in this series of cooking videos, I've been doing what I call struggle meals, trying to whatever, dude. You don't gotta have a lot of money to eat good type of meal. Well, I'm going back to the late 90s and early 2000s, my late teens, early 20s when I first moved out on my own with this one. We a lot of times we wouldn't have ate if it wasn't for the food bank. And any of y'all who have ever been to the food bank know, you don't necessarily get what you want there, but you'll get some food. And one of the things we got every single month was ground turkey. And whatever, if you're health conscious, maybe you use it a lot. I don't know. I don't really care. I don't like it. But it actually works good in spaghetti sauce, and I kind of perfected this back then, and this is how I do it. I've had this cast iron pan forever. I'm going to get it good and hot, and as you know, turkey's lean as hell. There ain't no fat in it. Well, if there ain't no fat in it, what do? We got our ghetto Tupperware, and we got the bacon grease that we save. I'm going to do about a spoonful. Should be all I need. And you might need a little more than that, but hey, remember, struggle days, you would save this shit and use it for different things. I save it because I like to add the flavor, because this don't got shit for flavor. It just don't. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to throw a touch of oil in with that. That ought to get it. The bacon grease is going to flavor that oil. So basically, at the end of the day, you're going to come out with something that tastes like bacon grease, and you don't got to use a crap ton of it. It's also just a little bit healthier, and all that happy horse crap that comes along with it, right? We'll just kind of stir this around, get her incorporated. Now, before I put the meat up in it, we got a half an onion and 3 cloves of garlic, because turkey is basically flavorless, dude. Ground turkey sucks. So, how do you combat that? Well, some of the cheapest ingredients you got. Yellow onions are cheap. If you buy raw garlic, it's cheap. You're going to throw that in there. I don't mind chunks of it in my food. I really don't. But my girlfriend's a little picky on onions, so I try to turn the heat down a little. I try to cook them down as much as I can. The turkey's going to cook faster than this, so it takes, I don't know, about that much salt. You kind of need the salt to get the onions to sweat and break down. Toss around a little bit in the grease and get them to break down a little into what I want. Oh my God, it smells good up in here, let me tell you. And we're going to break them down until they start getting translucent. Because like I said, I kind of want them to cook down as much as possible. Just so I don't got chunks of onion and I don't get bitched at for it. We're essentially making some cheap ass spaghetti sauce. Pasta is cheap, dude. Like $1.50. Dollar store, right? Dollar Tree, you get small things of pasta for $1. Onions, about $3.59, $4 for a small bag of them. This is half an onion. You know, you can stretch them. And we're even going to use an El Cheapo sauce on this, a dollar store sauce, a can of sauce. $1 for that can. Pretty soon here we'll be able to add this, so I'll get this opened up. One thing I'm not cheap with, I can't stand garbage knives. I have got some very good kitchen knives. Extremely sharp. They do the deal. So now the onions are cooking down in it. Add in the turkey. Hold on a second here. Catch you in a minute. Sorry about that. I had a couple things going at once here. We're making some homemade garlic bread. And since there was a little extra dough, we can make a little homemade pizza too. I throw just a little more salt in the turkey because it's turkey. Okay? This has everything, dude. Italian seasoning, Yeah, about that much. Remember, ground turkey tastes like nothing, so don't be scared. A little bit of black pepper. Not that much, that'll do. And we're basically just going to incorporate this and break it all down. And we got some pasta on the back burner there that's already been cooked. And it's ready to go. And right now we're just kind of going to make our own little bit of a red sauce. I know you traditional Italian people right now would probably like to hit me over the head with something for doing this. I'm sure you would, but you know, hey, look, I ain't Italian. I'm Slovak. And I ain't about to try to make pierogies and film it. Okay? That's how that goes. We might do a stuffed cabbage video at some point. That takes a lot of work. And that's a struggle meal. We might even do a halushki video at some point too. All depends on how much you guys watch my cooking videos. So anyways, you get the gist of this. You just keep breaking it down with a spoon, moving it around, and cook it down until it's cooked out. So I'm going to cut it right here, and I'll show you this when it's done. Alright, now that I've got it cooked down a good bit, I just switch up spoons. You just can't cut through this stuff with a metal spoon. The turkey, the onions especially, the turkey's got a lot of water in it. It's cheap stuff. And the onions are going to sweat and make a lot of water. And what I'm doing is I'm on high heat, and that'll eventually evaporate out that water. Turkey's about 90% cooked at this point. So what we're going to do, get a towel so I can scorch myself. I'll explain this in a minute. We're going to transfer this. I like to cook in a cast iron. You don't have to do it that way. I just like to do it that way. But I'm going to transfer this into a non-stick, and the reasoning for that is I kind of don't really want the tomato sauce in my cast iron. The acid in it just really isn't all that good for it. It won't really matter, but the acid kind of does eat away at the seasoning. Maybe I'll get into some cast iron videos at some point. Maybe I won't. Crank the heat way down. And like I said, just some cheapo, literally Dollar Tree canned spaghetti sauce. And we're going to add some El Cheapo Parmesan cheese. And there's a good bit of that oil left over in here, which is kind of what I wanted. And you just kind of get it all incorporated in. Ground turkey's not the, like I said, it's not the best. You know, it doesn't taste like shit, pardon my language. It doesn't really taste like shit. It just doesn't taste like anything. So you got to use a ton of garlic and onion. And even a cheap sauce like this, we'll do a little something something with it. I'm going to put just a touch more of this Italian seasoning up in it. I actually like that stuff. And we got another can of sauce we're going to throw in there too, just to get it where I want it, consistency-wise. Because what we're going to do is we're going to simmer this with the lid on it for, I don't know, 5 minutes, something like that. And just kind of let that tomato sauce and all them seasonings kind of get up inside the turkey meat a little bit. It'll make it a little more better. Nah, like I said, I'm sure there's some Italian person somewhere ready to rip my head off and shit down my neck for this, but it is what it is. Now, here's kind of what I like to do with this. I got my pasta cooked beforehand. And, you know, everybody talks about you like your pasta, spaghetti's better the next day type thing. Well, I cooked this beforehand. It was done about 20 minutes before I started this whole sauce deal. You just get it finished and you toss a little olive oil or whatever oil you got in it so it doesn't stick. Then I mix it in with the sauce, like such, and get it all incorporated in. and then I'll let that just simmer on low, the lowest setting I got, for like 10 minutes before I bring it to the table. Actually gonna turn it down. And it just it all depends. Like, my girlfriend cannot stand pasta and rice and stuff like that if it's al dente. She wants it cooked till it's mush, right? I just can't boil pasta like that. I don't. So what I end up doing is, this way it kind of absorbs a little bit of the sauce. You've got oil in the sauce. And it all just kind of marries together. It's all kind of happy. Alright, so let's say you're struggling on a budget. If you look at my other videos and my shorts, about $5 for this total. Maybe, we'll go about, I don't know what ground turkey costs nowadays. I don't even remember when I bought that. I bought it actually with the idea of making this video, and it sat for a couple months in my freezer. So let's say you got the turkey from the food bank, because they usually do give away ground turkey. They just do. So that's free. That's about $1's worth of dollar store pasta, and there's like $2 to $3 in that pizza and garlic bread I made. So you got like a $7 feast that'll feed for 2 meals. Like, you eating this for dinner and y'all taking some of it for lunch. Or 2 people, you eating this for dinner, taking it for lunch, and you still got a portion to take for lunch another day. Off of like $6, maybe $7 at the most. You know, I've been through times in my life when I was struggling, and I've been through times in my life when I had a lot of money. Right now I make some decent money. But I like to do this. I like to cook. Fills up my time. And instead of us going out to dinner and spending $50 damn or some prepackaged garbage that you just throw in a skillet and heat up, you know, something like that cost, you know, $15 pretty much. You about got to eat 2 of them. Take a little bit of time out of my day here, about an hour and a half total. 2 hours when you consider the time the pizza dough had to rise, and you know, we got some really good eats. Don't cost nothing much to do it, so I'll catch y'all later, man. I'm gonna eat. I'm hungry. And I talked about the struggle garlic bread, right? Well, we're doing the crust a little thinner than we did with the pizzas. And it kind of comes out as a little crispier, crunchier, kind of like a crazy bread type deal. Since we had leftover, we used a little tiny bit of cheese I had left and a spoonful of the sauce that was left over from the spaghetti. Before I had put the turkey and all that, we just put a spoonful and made ourselves a pizza with the leftover bacon from breakfast. And it's a little thinner crust than the last one I made for y'all. This here, like, literally about $2 total. Maybe a little less if you actually proportioned everything. And the point behind this is you don't got to spend a lot of money to eat good. You do got to spend some time preparing it all, though. But hey, if you're struggling, what else you got to do, right?